Hello, ladies and gentlemen, again. Well, I'm going to record today my comments on Daniel Naroditsky's answer to me. Well, the point is that actually I was not planning to do it for the reasons which I will explain later, but since, okay, people were asking me on Twitter and that, okay, you have to answer, it's not polite because he answered all your questions. Well, that is. I just wrote shortly that there are too much lies and too much manipulation, so I don't want really to go into this so much. But then immediately, of course, this group of people or bots started to tell that I'm just trying to avoid it. So okay, at least so I decided to record it today, maybe even in two parts. Let's see how it goes. But at least I wanted to make it educational because I mean, for some people, it's actually interesting from psychological point of view because you will see. I mean, how many, unfortunately, and it was really like shocking to me and very annoying in the sense of, well, I didn't expect it from Danya. I mean, I expected from Chescom. I know already they're doing it, but from Danya didn't frankly expect it. But anyways, again, my idea here is not to blame him, not to but just to tell the truth. You know, the truth is most important. Yes. So unfortunately, the truth is that Danya is using a lot of very well known tactics of manipulation, and so I will first I will prove it. I mean, don't start immediately being angry, or I'm going to prove it with facts, but for the moment first let's yeah, so this video, I liked it. This is actually very interesting for people who might not know it. So the idea is that there was a long time ago there was an experiment on our psychology, and actually it showed very clearly that yeah, you can sorry, why music for reading? No, that was not this. Sorry, it was this one. Yes, this I think experiment. Well,
The
anyways,
ASH
you can
experiment is
check
one
it.
of
Yeah,
psychology's oldest
Arch
and most
conformity
popular
experiment.
pieces of
And the
research.
idea is that
A volunteer is told
actually, it clearly showed that people are ready being influenced by the group, are ready actually to completely dismiss what they see in front of them. Yeah, and that is a very well-known psychological experiment, and nowadays cognitive sciences are very developed, and well, all this propaganda media, they work very much on it. So I would like first you to watch that one. I just published on my X in my post this video, very informative. And then yeah, so I want to just first, before we watch his answer and I will comment on it, just that you can open yourself Wikipedia page, manipulation psychology, and then you will see, well, in psychology, manipulation is defined as an action designed to influence or control another person, usually in a fair manner, which facilitates one's personal aims. Method someone may use to manipulate another person may include seduction, suggestion, and so on and so on, blackmail, submission, whatever. So read it, yeah, and you will see. I mean, here it's quite quite. Of course, there are a lot of materials on this on internet, but yeah, techniques, description, and once you study it, you will see how actually very much all this we will see today in this video. And by the yeah, the main one is gaslighting. Actually, this is like the main like core point of unfortunately Danya's answers, because and Chescom and of course Hikaru as well, is actually gaslighting is a term. If somebody you don't know, it's actually was made after the Hitchcock movie, where okay, the scenario was that I will read it here. 1 second, where is it? Etymology, yeah. The origin of the term is the 1938 British thriller play Gaslight by Patrick Hamilton, which provided the source material for the 1940 British film Gaslight. The film was then remade in 1944 in America, also as Gaslight. I think it was Hitchcock. And the term gaslighting itself is necessary. No, it's not mentioned, but it became like a word. Yeah, it became. So the idea of the movie was that a person, a husband, was actually trying to, to influence his wife, actually doing something. I mean, convincing her that she's doing something which she never did, and actually with time she started to believe in it because he had an authority and so on, and that was the way to actually to get her crazy simply at the end of the story. But anyway, yeah, so you can watch this movie, and this terminology, you can see all this on the internet. Yeah, I was with my, I was really feeling embarrassed to see how much of this is used here, of course, in chess.com as well. So they're actually, in fact, what Danya is often doing, and this is, I mean, it started frankly again. I don't want to especially, do say anything wrong about Danya. I mean, I kind of like him, not really anymore, unfortunately. Because I start to see that there is something really, in my opinion, it's my personal opinion, something really wrong with the personality, maybe even on the level of certain personality disorder. Again, it's not an insult, it's just my opinion, but otherwise I cannot explain things he is doing, because very often he is accusing me of lying very aggressively. This is a kind of passive aggressive behavior, very aggressively, but actually what he says is an obvious lie. It's very obvious because I will prove it. It's actually recorded, yeah, that you will see that it's a lie. And in fact, he is being this passive aggressive and just playing a victim, as if I'm like bullying him or I'm manipulating something, but obviously he is doing it and it's permanent. Yeah, so this is a very classical gaslighting, very classical. Yeah, when he wants all the public who is watching it actually to question their reality, to question in a way their sanity, their own eyes, like in this arch experiment. I hope it will not work, at least with all of you, and what I wanted to do today is just let's listen. I will comment a bit on it, and I will show you where he is actually simply I would say purposely or not purposely delusional, because, sorry for using this strong word again, but it's true, simply because what he says is like absolute true with a lot of confidence. It's actually absolutely not according to reality, and I will show you this. Okay, let's go. Here, I think this part of the video is where he is answering me. Let's listen.
Have at least one Russian speaker. Thanks for waiting, guys. I appreciate it. This is something I want to get right. Here we go. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do now, and I'm anticipating the possibility that, a lot of people might watch this. You might not. I'm going to publish the VOD. Somebody might put it up on YouTube. Vlad might be watching this, and
I do.
If he does, and if he reacts to it, I'm going to be very unfiltered and honest here. And obviously, I'm under no illusion.
Yeah, let's see how honest it's going to be.
At the reaction will be negative. I know that. No matter what I say.
Yeah, so here it starts. Yeah, it first already starts the manipulation. That one of the trick you will read in this article, also in even Wikipedia page. It's one of the first. Let's just check. The first method of manipulation is trying to read your opponent mind. Yeah, so in a way you are telling what the guy thinks and what he wants, not knowing it, obviously. Yeah, this is one. So he already tells that whatever I say, he will be me. It will not be good for me, satisfactory. No, of course it's not true. Again, because it's like in a way preparing the field to tell that, okay, I mean that when, and he probably knows that he is not telling the truth. So when I will actually point it out, then you will have this kind of prepared excuse that, okay, it doesn't matter what I say. No, then it matters. If you tell the truth, there will be no issue. We can start a normal dispute discussion, but unfortunately you're not doing it. So this is the first. Yeah, we see. You're having like a lecture of non-professional, but I studied psychology for some time actually, and well, at least the basics I know. This is very clear. First, yeah, okay.
I do hold out some hope that he can adhere to his desire and promise expressed multiple times to hold facts sacred and to...
Yeah, this is another manipulation, actually very, very well known, that actually you accuse your opponent in something you are doing yourself. You will see here in this video that Danya is not holding the facts sacred, not at all. He's making a lot of manipulation and direct lies, and in advance and throughout this his answer, he will actually blame me for doing the same. I mean, the difference is in our statement that I point out every single moment and I prove it with videos, with concrete data, when I pretend that he's not sincere, that he's not telling the truth. He whether doesn't do it, so he making it very general, or when he does it, he's factually wrong, yeah? And I will prove it. So that is a very big difference, just to pretend your opponent is lying or manipulating, or to give very concrete factual proof of it.
Admit when he is mistaken, as he said he will do many times. But
yeah.
The reason I'm pessimistic is because it does seem that I am not just being, lied about and.
Of course, it's a lie. I mean, what do you mean lied about? Give an example. I did not lie. I might be wrong in my assessment, or let's say it's discussable. Yeah, there are some things are discussable, but I don't lie, Danya, unfortunately, compared to you. So you see, this introduction is the first manipulation. First of all, it immediately puts me like, okay, I'm bad, he is good. Yeah, before even explaining, yeah, what he means. And actually he will not really. And okay, classic manipulation. So immediately you diminish the opposition side, like, okay, he is obviously a liar, yeah? And then you start. So people already get something in the mind. Yeah? Poor Daniel getting attacked, getting, manipulated, lied about. So you see, and then you start. So first you prepare the naive public to believe you. You immediately put the accent, good guy, bad guy, yeah? Well, and it's all done in a very passive-aggressive way, because he is very polite, calm, like even charming, but at the same time extremely like harsh and strict against me. So it's a typical, in psychology, calls passive-aggressive behavior.
Et cetera, et cetera. Facts are being manipulated, but
yeah.
The nature of these accusations, non-accusations, is that they take, as I said at the start of the stream, and evolve. The form of them evolves every time. So every time I address one thing, it's like, I never said this. This was never the issue. There's this other issue and these other questions, and then I address those. It's like a game of whack-a-mole. And
it's also, you see, so he is immediately excusing himself. Actually, why it is happening? Because I am asking direct question. Danya is whether not answering those, or in fact just lying. Yeah, that's like he's going to do a lot in this answer, and I'm sorry to use such a straight word as Danya is doing. I'm much more I would say responsible for words I'm using, but unfortunately it is simply true, factual truth. So you see, immediately he puts like very much like he's up, I'm down. Like, yeah, it's the first thing he does before actually he gives, and he immediately says that I'm lying. You will see later on in this video that, okay, this is not the reality.
Problem never actually disappears. It, like, every time I cut off one head, 3 more heads appear in their place, but I will...
Yeah, also what I want to tell, it's a very typical manipulative strategy, is to be very rhetoric, very general. You know, I'm asking Danya very concrete questions, and would be nice to get very concrete answers instead of all these rhetorics, you know, like how malicious am I, how bad am I, how I'm manipulative. Okay, just let's get to facts, yeah. I mean, so okay. Let's
try
go.
to cut off all of the heads at once. And let me reiterate that all I'm really looking for is an honest admission that that he is very, very deeply mistaken.
I mean, honest admission, Danya. Okay, so immediately again, it says he knows. I'm actually asking question again. He will lie here again that I'm accusing him. No, I'm not accusing, but I'm asking questions. Yeah, and then so I why do I ask questions? Because I want to challenge my concerns. I mean, and I want to find the truth. So he immediately tells, okay, I have to admit that I'm wrong. Yeah. So it's immediately again this very passive aggressive manipulation. Yeah. So I'm wrong a priori. Yeah, already here.
In his pursuit to demonstrate my my persistent cheating and
Yeah, again, this is an obvious lie, you see. So it's already only few sentences, but how many manipulation and direct lies already? Of course, I never said that Danya is continued participating cheating, or I mean, I never accused. Only, I mean, I didn't accuse. I just recorded this stream. I just recorded my video when it was a fact that Danya used engine during a game, whatever it is a game for whatever purposes, and this is considered to be cheating according to chess.com standards. Yeah, but otherwise, everywhere else, I'm just asking question. I don't know. I have base concerns, but I don't know, and I never pretended that I know. And so you see, it is in these small built sentences so many already manipulations and lies. So this is an obvious lie. That's why I stop it here.
Tournaments and in games. Of course, he is deeply mistaken. Let's be very specific about the non-insinuations. But these non-insinuations are based on claims, and he was asking me to be specific about the lies and manipulations, and this is...
Well, also wrong a bit way of saying it's not based on claims, based on facts, yeah, on documented facts, but okay.
It's not my official response yet, so I'll be a lot more thorough. But of course, the biggest lie is that I was looking off to the side, looking at a wall, and looking up, also looking at a wall, when in both cases, although I cannot guarantee, as I don't have footage from those days, that I never actually looked at the wall. I sometimes look around.
So let's listen to what he says. He says that I'm lying. That that if you just try to have critical thinking, analyze, just forget about that you like him or don't like. Just analyze what he's saying. So he's saying I'm lying about him looking up, looking at the wall. Yeah. Then he says I cannot guarantee. So how can you, if you cannot guarantee, how can you pretend that I lie? And the third, what he says, that I don't have the footage of that. No, the footage is on internet. You can check, and we will together with you today in this video check, and you will see yourself. Unless you will be a victim of this arch experiment, yeah, you will see yourself that this is absolutely true. I mean, this is like... Okay, let's go first.
And look off to the side while I'm calculating.
It was not
and
the
let me
case.
try to nip in the bud, because I'm sick and tired of the pontificating BS that's uttered in response to every common sense thing. I'm going to try to anticipate any counter arguments to the obvious thing.
So immediately you see such an aggression, yeah. So he's telling immediately that any comment on his thing is BS, yeah. I mean, it is outstanding. Actually, with this nice appearance, I mean, Danya with this playing a victim, actually he is telling outstanding things, yeah? I mean, he already immediately, I mean, he is actually extremely aggressive here. Extremely. Much more than I am in any video I publish. I mean, that is pretty obvious. Okay.
Things that I say and back them up when possible, so that people acting in good faith can see that I have the beef to back up what I'm saying.
Again, manipulation. You immediately get into a group. Okay, if you don't agree with Danya, or if you don't back what he is saying, you are not acting in good faith, yeah? I mean, obviously it's not true. Obviously, yeah? And so you see how many... Every sentence is a manipulation, is it's put you in such way. It's that you kind of you must be evil or ashamed if you don't agree with everything Danya says in a way. Yeah.
And I'm gonna go starting soon often, guys, just to like when I need to find stuff. Here's Vlad himself doing what while he calculates, which is again totally normal. And as Eric said in his reaction,
manipulation. I will explain.
I have a habit of like not looking at the board in class. I have a habit of
So he sorry. Okay,
I have a habit of like not looking at the board in classical chess. I do that all the time. I've done.
I mean, it's not true also because I played with Danya. I didn't find anything unusual. Yeah, we all from time to time not look at the board and we look at the board. I mean, classical chess has nothing to do with blitz because blitz you have little time. You're looking all the time at the board, usually every player. So it's really not relevant. I mean, okay.
That since I was a little kid, I just, I'm weird.
No, you absolutely. When you're on the classical, when you played OTB, I didn't find anything weird.
You can label it many different ways, but I'm always darting my eyes around. I'm like putting my hand in my hands. People think I'm sleeping at the board. It's just something I do because I find the board sometimes easier to visualize and get the juices of creativity flowing. And for the most part, to varying degrees, this is normal for all players. Watch.
Of course.
Just a second.
No, it's not normal for blitz. That is absolutely not normal. For classical, yes. So he's talking about classical chess, and now he's showing some example of me playing blitz, and actually he just finds very small couple of moments. Again, such an obvious manipulation if you really understand that this is the purpose of it. It's not because I want to blame him. It's just true. It's you see it, yeah. Because he's taken a certain moment where I played, and at some point I started to calculate variation. Actually, I was first of all talking aloud what I'm thinking about, and secondly, I was looking at the window somewhere and calculating, and it was a very short moment. Usually, it's never happening. You can check my stream. Then he takes this moment. This is happening. If you can find these moments here in one stream, another stream from time to time with any players. And that is very normal. So what I meant is something totally different. He is going to mention it there, and then he is giving it as a kind of example. I mean, for any player who knows chess, I mean, he knows that this is, I'm sorry, this is a manipulation because it has nothing to do with the subject of my concerns. Okay, anyway, let's see.
Okay, but you can see the eyes are off to the side. I mean, the monitor's straight up, right? Straight. This monitor is straight.
Okay, I'm obviously calculating, and I'm telling what I'm calculating.
Again, I have to calculate. What? Wait, let's get that
actually
in slow
now
motion.
He repeats again the same, but anyway, yeah. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense what he's doing, but okay.
Oh, he's saying moves as he's looking off to the side. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be obnoxious and just like fixate on obvious points. What can I anticipate the response to that being? Mm-hmm. Well, I can anticipate the response to that being my glances to the side occur in their view. This is something I very strongly will dispute and will refute momentarily.
And I will refute your refutation then after.
In its entirety. But I think the response is, well, these are very particular glances at one location, and you know what you mean, and these are like brief glances, like saccades, like brief eye saccades to the same location, in seemingly critical moments.
No,
okay?
not
so
by
let's
the
say
way,
that's
not in critical moment, just permanent, yeah. And I will show you it is true actually.
Counter argument to this, and like this is clearly a case of just like visualizing the board. I'm not suggesting, by the way, that what Kramnik did there is weird or cheating. I'm saying the opposite. Even looking off to the side at a non-monitor is normal, first of all. Second of all, that is not what I was doing.
Well, now we get to the direct lies. Of course, it is exactly what you
95% of the cases that I was looking, that I was darting my eyes, I was actually still looking at the board.
Yeah, this is a lie which I'm going to prove you. That's why actually it is there is something which is becoming already kind of questioning some personality things. Yeah, I mean, what is happening? That's why I use this word delusional. I mean, it's a strong word. I don't like it, but I cannot find anything else. At least my English is not good enough because it's a obviously false statement and it's very easy to prove it. I mean, we will do together the experiment, we will see that it's a lie. So that is already goes beyond, I would say, normality in a certain way, because I cannot, for me it's incomprehensible that a public person can lie so openly. Actually, I will accuse another one of lying when there is a very direct visual documented proof that it's not the case. So that's why, and there are many situations in his answer which are like that. So I'm really like, yeah, I decided instead of answering that is why I didn't want to answer, because there is nothing to answer. He's like first a priori starts with the base point that okay, this was like that. I didn't look up. I didn't look, and then he builds his theory. But the base point is fake, is wrong. Yeah, and that's why. But if we make it, since people ask me, it's more polite to answer. And also, I decided to make it at least in a certain educational way of psychology, of methods of manipulation, at least to make it to make sense out of it, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. The only thing I would just tell, no, this is not true, this is not true, this is not true, it would be too boring, my answer like this. So let's do it a bit more educational, so to say. Okay, let's go further.
So this is a situation similar to bishop c8, where people thought that I played that move, which would be, I would say, a tiny bit peculiar, but still totally absurd to consider that evidence. But
I mean, now again, this is also typical manipulation tactic, is to switch attention from the important point to a non-important. I mean, this whole moment, as a professional chess player, I can explain you. Of course, I never claimed that. Maybe in comment somebody did, but it was not me. That actually, that it's important that he played or didn't play bishop c8 actually doesn't make any difference. Absolutely any difference. What was the important point, that he mentioned this move as very interesting. I mean, that was the point. It absolutely doesn't matter played or not played. So he is now switching this point. He is accenting that, which I never, by the way, said, and trying to make this as an argument in his favor when he has more than enough chess knowledge, understanding to know that it's not an argument. I mean, it's not an issue in this story.
But I didn't even play it. This is the same situation. If
Doesn't
I looked
matter.
40 times at like a picture, okay, you could ask, like, do you do that most games?
Yeah.
But I wasn't even looking at a picture.
No, actually, it doesn't matter where you are looking, but you are looking many times at the same point, and this is easily provable.
was in fact still looking at the board,
No.
which is what makes this so deranged.
I mean, deranged is actually what makes it that you, Danya, that you dare to contest reality. I mean, we will see today. It is what I tell is true. It's very obvious to anyone. On top of that, we have a system which detects it, eye tracking system. But even without, it is so obvious here that and that I'm right. That it's really like, that is surprising to me that Danya, with such a confidence, and probably that's the only way to convince people, because he knows that people will not go through the streams, they just will listen to him, and okay, that's why he has to be extremely confident, like, okay, what are you talking about? But in fact, you will see that this is what he says, it's just not true.
I think it's probably a good time to make a connection to some of the Salem trials that I promised, but let's explore this a little bit further.
Yeah, now Danya, it's also very typical manipulation tactics. Another one you will see also on that page is that you are making like emotional rhetoric, like you are giving some. Now Danya is going to spend a lot of time on which hunt, which was on the 16th century. I mean, I don't know in whose mind answering very direct, concrete questions, concerns of me, you would go like for the whole long historical, totally unrelated subject. It's very clear it's a way to influence emotionally people. It has absolutely nothing to do with witch hunt, and Danya spends such a long time presenting it. I mean, it is absurd. I'm sorry, it is complete absurd.
This is just sort of a fireside chat. I'm going to try to be pretty unfiltered here, and I haven't collected my thoughts coherently, so I'm going to stumble, and I might take some time to think about what I want to say. But
okay,
I've been clear multiple times. This isn't about me being a victim and trying to curry favor with the chess community. Oh, look.
Well, I mean, again, he's saying, yeah, it's not about me being a victim. Everybody has to be checked. I mean, in general, yes, he's saying this, but in particular, he's obviously playing a guy who is, as you said, I mean, how did he put it? Falsely accused, or etc. etc. A lot of words like he is actually playing a victim. But now he's saying, no, I'm not playing a victim. I mean, okay, let's see.
Look at this, at this predator going after just the nice guy of the. I'm just like a small little snowflake. That's actually the first thing I want you to throw into the garbage can. My personality or demeanor is totally unimportant. It is true that judging someone's like cheating statistics based on how nice they are is ridiculous, and
This I agree.
like nobody with a brain would do that. Like your objective statistics are what they are, your moves are what they are, and
Actually, from one point of view, I agree. But then, when he's discussing the episode when he switched on the engine, then he changes completely his opinion. So he says, "Okay, it's me. I deserved you will see it later. For years, I deserved to be trusted. That I can afford doing it without consent, something like that." So completely contradicts. Yeah. In general, he's saying right things, but when it gets to him, already his concept changes completely.
I'm actually opposed to that very principally. Like I'm trying to make people not do that, right? And evaluate these claims on their merits. Now I've explained Bishop C8. Let me start there because Kramnik has released an update.
Yeah,
and
that
so will
part
I.
is funny, and also it is really like embarrassing, Danya. Okay, I will explain why.
I explained the Bishop C8. It's been put out several times on YouTube. I'm not going to simply... Oh, thank you so much, Alpac. And 46-minute mark, part 2. Let me record that. I really appreciate it. See what's that?
Okay.
And if you guys have suggestions and stuff, you can let me know.
I have some, Danya.
Okay.
Write it down, please.
Yeah, you've seen me throw a mouse. You've seen me blunder. I'm not a nice guy during Title Tuesday, that's for sure. 46-minute mark. When I did the Bishop C8 explanation, the fact that I had to do it is already a sign of the times. Truly, it breaks my heart.
I mean, again, it just doesn't make sense what he says. Why it breaks your, why it's a sign of the time. You can explain every move. I mean, what's the problem actually doing it? So again, this guilt play, this shaming, passive-aggressive shaming play. Like, if we ask, okay, for me, this move is totally strange. I mean, it wouldn't cross my mind, and I tell it with full responsibility. I mean, of my words as a chess player, and I'm sincere here, and I'm not the only one by far who is telling this. And then immediately he's already telling that, okay, how can you even dare to ask it? I mean, it's this kind of passive-aggressive game all the time.
I'm not going to rehash it, so please do your due diligence. Most people know what I'm talking about. Vlad responded on Twitter saying several of the top GMs, presumably the same mysterious top GMs, which include Nepo and a top GM by the name of Top GM. I think I saw him playing in the Gashima Memorial.
Again, he pretends he knows what I think or what I know. So, I mean, Jan was one of them, but others were not. I don't know whom he means by Gashima Memorial. No, it was not him, but whoever he means, I have no idea. And basically, so immediately, again, it's a kind of manipulation. So he dismisses like all these guys are like, nobody or my friends, and his experts, which you will see later, they're all chess.com people. Are the objective real guys. So it's again. So I will explain you more, but okay.
Dropped below 2,700 recently.
Don't know.
And we lulled at it. Like we listened to Daniel's
Yeah,
explanation
that's
and lulled
true.
at it. And in a YouTube comment, he said that for amateurs it's believable, but anybody, like as a GM, knows the truth.
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
so first
not
I'm
the
going to show you
truth.
that
I
that's
didn't tell
demonstrable.
exactly that. I mean, I don't really think I said about truth, but yeah, that for GM it was laughable. Yeah, I completely stand on my point, because when he played bishop c8, if you know, he explained that he wanted to trap the bishop to protect the bishop on e5. It is, I'm sorry, it's just like what trap? How can you trap the bishop? He has many squares on the diagonal to protect the bishop on e5. It just didn't make any sense to me and to other top players as well.
Demonstrably false in a second, but that is absurd for so many different reasons. Just one is that what you are essentially asking me to do in the first place is to verbally describe something that by definition is verbally undescribable, which is your
That is, by the way, correct. That it's by definition it's difficult to describe it. But one lie here again, I never asked Danya to describe verbally that. At least not me. Maybe somebody else asked, but I never did. So why you are telling this, Danya? Because I know that it's verbally undescribable. Yeah, it's very difficult to describe. But still, Danya tried, and his try was really weak. Clearly weak, but he shouldn't have even tried. I never asked it because yeah, it's like a matter of your intuition, of your knowledge of chess, that simply this move normally wouldn't come to your mind. I mean, as a strong player. Okay, that's my stand, not only mine, many other players, but you cannot refute it, or you cannot verbally you can neither refute it, neither prove it. So it's all about who has who has more authority there. Let's say me and a group of top players, or Danya and a group of chess.com people. Yeah, I don't know. Up to you to decide.
intuition, which is fucked up. I'm sorry to be. I'm going to do what Vlad does. I'm sorry to be a little bit blunt here, but there's just no other way to say it.
So as I understood, he pretends that my intuition is the word he used. Not only mine, also Nepomniachtchi, also Giri, also team of Nepomniachtchi. I didn't know it, but he published his tweet that said not only me, but also strong players from my team. They also didn't find it, and some other top players. I don't want to call names before they are doing it themselves. Yeah, but there are altogether like 8 and they are all for them. It is it's a very unnatural move which wouldn't cross their mind. Like Anish Giri, for example, he wrote that in his Twitter that I would never make this move. I mean, that is what he wrote officially, yeah, when I put this position. And now he's telling that we all don't have, our intuition is not great compared to Danya and probably Dani Range or somebody else. I mean, what? This is just crazy to tell it, no? I mean, doesn't matter if he likes me or not, but like it's obviously ridiculous to tell that a bunch of very strong players actually don't have intuition or what.
This move has a concrete idea. Like there's something in the position that led my brain into the general region of this move, and I described it. It was the fact that he hemmed in his own bishop. But there are components of this move that are general. This is what it means to understand a structure.
Danya, you understand the structure, yeah? Me, Jan, Anish, we all don't understand structure, yeah? I mean, you are the one who understands structure. I mean, this is like, it's incredible how Danya tells it, and people, guys, it's not about who is even right, who is wrong. Again, I told you, it is kind of subjective. But what he's telling is like so absurd that he's like contesting several strong players, that he tells that they know, I mean, in a way he means that he has much better understanding, intuition, and his chess.com guys than a group of top players who, by the way, I will tell you exactly how in contrary to Danya, my experiment was very clean. When I was sending this screenshot with this position, not a single person knew what is this position, who is playing, is it blitz, classical, at all. I was just sending, this screenshot, the same on Twitter to Anish. I did, okay, screenshot, you have few seconds, up to 10 seconds. I was given, please, what kind of moves would cross your mind, what would you consider? That, and only after I was explaining what is it. So it was a very clean experiment. People didn't know, and for example, some people are actually, not at all, have nothing to do against Danya. I guess maybe even all of them. Nothing against. Yeah, it's just like they see the position like a chess player, and they tell what they think. So okay, my experiment list was clear, and now Danya is trying to pretend that we don't understand something, that we are. I don't know. This is like, what is all this? Just think on your own. Listen to what he's saying. How much of let's say weird things he's saying in this answer, and then just think.
There are moves that aren't, attached to like a super concrete idea, but rather in static positions, it's just a move that you consider. It doesn't harm your position, and it improves certain aspects of it.
Well, first of all, let's be factual, yeah. First of all, Danya said it's a very interesting move. Now he's saying it's just a move to improve your position. Well, just a move, and it's true, it's just a move, yeah, nothing. So you don't name it as very interesting, first. And second, actually it does improve your position, because your bishop is developed on e6, and you redevelop your bishop, you put it back on c8. It's a move, yeah, it's possible to play it, even though it wouldn't cross my mind. I believe in general bishop is better placed on e6, and in blitz, to understand that it might make sense in few seconds, at least none of us strong players manage it. And then, now Danya starts to give some examples where this bishop c8 made sense, but it, again, I don't know whom is it aimed for. I guess for some public who don't know that much about chess, but any professional player will tell you this is just absurd, because, you change a little bit the position, bishop c8 would be a good move, and okay, little bit in different circumstances, it would be a bad move. Bishop c86 would be a good move. So it doesn't prove anything. It doesn't have any value, this long, sequence of example he prepared. It's not because I'm criticizing, again, nothing is enough. No, it is true. Really, it's true. I spoke with some other players. They can name themselves if they want, but they're all laughing at these examples, because as a professional, it just, every position is a special position, yeah. Again, I'm not telling that bishop c8 is not, maybe somebody has a very strange way of thinking to play bishop c8, to think even about bishop c8, because it's not about playing. I didn't even it wouldn't be a candidate move, definitely, for me, and many other players saying the same. Not that it's good move, but it wouldn't even cross our mind, because it's extremely unnatural, according to me, Nepomнящий, Giri, who else? I know, Matlakov, Vityugov, strong player. All of us. Other couple of top players, I will not call names, but believe me, it's true. For all of us, it is something which wouldn't cross our mind. And Danya is trying to give examples of our game, explaining that meaning that we simply don't have enough understanding, I guess, of something. It is absurd. This part is really, okay.
And I really appreciate the GMs who've made me feel less insane.
That is the funniest.
Now, I showed you some examples of an analogous move being played.
No, sorry. With analogous moves, this is just makes no sense. If you want, you can check it, and maybe for you will be convincing, but it is so, in my opinion, let's say, and maybe my opinion in purely chess matters, is valuable enough for you, if not, but it just doesn't make any, it's just not relevant, this part. But then, now we listen to Danya, and he says exactly about who confirmed that also bishop c8 is perfectly logical move. And incredibly interesting that it was all chess.com guys. It is Chessbra, it is Hamilton. Fortunately he didn't mean Eric Hansen. and maybe Hikaru as well, but fortunately he didn't meet Danya range. But it is absurd. I mean, and he's pretending that his guys are very trustable and very like, they're very, unbiased. I mean, okay, anyway.
Eric Hansen has called this absurd. Mon Hamilton has called this absurd. And another
guys from
GM that I want to shout out is...
Yeah, I would say that first of all, Eric Hansen is a good friend of Danya. And doesn't matter. Also, he's not, I'm sorry, with all respect, he's not the level of 27 plus guys. And Hamilton, I don't even know. I mean, I know he hates me. He was writing a lot of negative things about me. And also he's like barely 2500, maybe even not that. I mean, and that is for you, Danya, is a proof that, that is for you reassuring, yeah? I mean...
is Artur's Nakesons, who is,
yeah,
first of all, just a class act.
He's 2800
through.
now, I think, if I remember.
And he's someone from the Soviet school who I would imagine is a respectable GM and a coach. He's been over 2600.
He was playing the World Championship match with Magnus Carlsen recently.
Let me find what he said. Eric actually pointed out Bishop C8 as one of the first moves you look at if you're like a King's Indian player, because the structure is common.
Yeah, by the way, I want to tell that, of course, as expected, I published actually a tweet 2 days ago, and because somebody wrote me that Eric is commenting my videos, and I published there that I'm absolutely convinced that he's going to tell that looking at the engine is educational. It was just nothing really special. It's, we shouldn't really... make anything out of it. It happens. He apologized. It's okay. Exactly word by word is what he yesterday published and said. It's funny. And now, in his opinion, Bishop C8 is so logical. It's, of course, it's the first move would come to his mind.
For those who are looking for my comments on the last video, I will get to them. Please be patient. Let me find Nakesons' Reddit comment.
So let's wait. I'm just...
Okay. Yeah, big shout out to Artur's. He posted this as a Reddit comment, but I don't remember in which. I think it was on the Chessbro post. Okay, where is... Okay, literally just saw it.
Okay, so... Sorry, somebody...
It was a tweet. No. On Reddit, he like literally posted examples of... I think it's... If we go to top post, and then we go to...
Okay, well, let's... Okay, where is
First
it?
of all...
No, sorry, it's all
questions
these examples. I mean...
maybe it's in the...
Yeah, so now let's come to the... I mean, sorry for your patience. You saw already, I guess, how... I mean, what is all this about? That's why, again, I didn't want even to publish my response, but... if Danya really asks, okay, I have to do, but I don't want to touch this matter because it is obvious. And now the last part was the most important. I will just exactly show how brutally and openly Danya is lying about when he's saying things about his eye movements and so on, and that will be the end of it, because I don't see any more point to go further and to disprove everything he's saying, because it's a long video. I mean, if you want to do it, but frankly, at some point I just stop because it makes no sense. Yeah, too much lies, too much manipulations. Sorry to be so straight. Yeah. Okay, let's see now. So now Danya is trying to show his setup.
Oh, now it's opening. Okay.
Yeah.
So
he's closing camera. For that, okay, I don't know, it takes time. Sorry for patience. Now it's not such...
But okay. Here we go.
What happened? Yeah, okay. Not such a long time.
I'm not sure how to add
left.
my...
okay, Danya.
If we fast forward to a random point... Oh, I can't fast forward, though.
Yeah, now it is also absurdity. It's such an absurd, because Danya is trying to explain here that... Okay, I just briefly tell, because it really takes time, yeah? I mean, you can watch the video if you want. It's a stream. You will see the name of the stream here. So of 3 days ago or something. So Danya is explaining that he's like always watching somewhere. I mean, taking actually a different game, different stream, different video, showing a small part of it. I mean, and then explaining that this shows something. I mean, also it is well, but Danya, take the real one. Take the real one, and instead of, I mean, you haven't been doing it. I will do it today for you, and I will show what is the truth. But okay, I mean, this is also, it just doesn't make sense to take some other stream.
How do I like? Can I manipulate?
Yes,
oh, maybe it's
you know how to
right here.
manipulate that. Okay, it just doesn't make sense.
I can add a display capture.
And it's not because I want to stop him. I mean, it just takes time, and he's also a bit weird. He's very bad with technique, always confusing, even though he's for so many years already streaming. But anyways, okay, he's just showing some blitz game from somewhere, a short moment, and what does it prove? I don't understand at all. Okay, here I don't know where did he play it. So yeah, okay, he's looking at the monitor. I mean,
it's too difficult to follow the point you want to make as much as I believe you. Well, okay, then I don't know how I could make this any easier to observe.
Because as I said, it's getting too long. Let's come to the main point.
It's not the highest definition camera, but
it's a very low.
This is
now he's showing
his stream, so
his setup.
You're gonna have to be patient.
Let's see.
So that's number one. Number two.
Number one was
let me go back to OBS.
To me, but okay.
Let's delete the display capture. Or actually, yeah, let me delete the disable the display capture. Let me open the second angle.
Yeah. Now that is
Here's
the most
back
interesting
camera.
part. That is actually a proof of him not telling the truth. I mean, not according to reality. I will show you now.
Here's the back camera. It's not the highest definition camera, but hopefully you can see the point.
Okay, yeah.
Here it is.
Here it is.
It clearly shows that I don't.
Yeah, that is the setup he showed in his explanations recently, a few days ago. So just check very carefully. I mean, it's very obvious. Yeah, his monitor is way below his head. Yeah, so he's sitting like this. Monitor is there. So you have to look like this. Yeah, to see the board. It is extremely obvious. He's way higher than the monitor. Yeah. I mean, and the monitor is small, so everything as I mentioned, yeah, the monitor is small, so actually looking like there, even camera is very down, yeah. So I mean, looking like here, it will obviously like way ahead of the monitor and would be exactly the wall or the window, yeah. That's very clear by this setup, and so yeah.
Have a bot or anything of the sort. I'm just playing. And this.
Okay, now even when he's doing this, even like this, which he usually doesn't do, he sits like that. Even this, he's still like higher. Yeah, his head is higher than the monitor still. And you see, you cannot glance up there. I mean, still you have to look like this. You have to see, if you want to see the board, it's this. It's not this. Okay, you see it. Yeah, it's very obvious.
This is actually what the setup looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I play, I have chat open.
But this Danya already showed in his previous video when he was showing the room. I will also come back to it. And yeah, that's true. Okay.
As you can see, I do look everywhere with my eyes because I'm looking around my computer screen at the game.
1 second.
Because I was also filming for my phone.
1 second.
Tuesday with the backup camera as well, of course.
So
and interest questions. Okay, this is the Levitov interview, which I'll be listening to side of my computer because it's zoomed in. And the monitor to the left has the chat. That's it. This is my side setup. This is not my main setup. This is not where I'm currently sitting. This is where I was sitting in the Title Tuesday game against Kramnik, and I was a little bit closer to the computer than I was using, I think, a slight more zoomed in. So I was slightly more zoomed in, but otherwise it was exactly the same. And
it doesn't matter. I mean, the point is that whatever zoomed or not zoomed in, I mean, the computer is below you. So there is no way that you are looking up, your eyes up, and you can even remotely look at the monitor. I mean, no way you see it, yeah? Okay.
Now to my main setup, which has also different monitors. And I don't have the backup footage that I've vetted for like no doxing yet, but I will have that, and I will stream Title Tuesday with the backup camera as well, of course.
I mean, I didn't see it, by the way. This circus which Danya made some kind of crazy thing I didn't understand like 3 days ago on last title Tuesday, and then the evening one I think he again streamed without back camera. So okay, but
No
now
questions
he's
asked,
going to
but
show the setup.
here is, well, a lot of questions asked, but
No, actually
they're
he
not
will not
accusations,
show.
they're-
But fortunately he didn't show it, but I found a short moment when you can see it, so I will present it to you
just
today.
questions. Okay, this is the Levitov interview, which I'll be listening to momentarily, but
Okay.
first... But okay, yes, very nice.
Trying to
Here
be
we go,
charming
display
and
capture.
humorous,
And let me show you something.
please. Yeah, now it will be the last moment, and then I will tell very briefly. I will
Why is my camera not-
refute very briefly, factually, all what he is saying, and that would be it. So please wait few more
Maybe
minutes.
it's stuck fish.
Oh, it's so bad with
No, it's
technique,
definitely
Danya.
there,
I
it's
don't
just
know
not-
what
oh,
is
there it is.
happening. Okay.
Okay. I won't do this right now just because I don't want to bore you, but on
So you don't want to see or to show. I think Danya finally doesn't show actually from the back. He doesn't want to bore us. Okay.
YouTube, you could find a video of me commentating Title Tuesday 2 months before I played the game with Rasulov.
Okay. This I didn't know.
I'm happy to provide that link. In that video, you can see me looking up exactly the same way that I do against Rasulov.
Yeah, that's why it's strange. Yeah.
I just did that in my first set of Blitz games, okay? Especially if I'm leaning back a little bit, I'm looking at black's pieces, okay? Looking at the 8th rank.
No, this is really, I mean, Danya, how can it be this is extremely high? No, first of all, you practically never lean back. Secondly, even leaning back like this, we are tall, both of us. He is a little less tall than me, but still, Danya is very tall. And you will see now the photos that he is pretty much above the monitor. I mean, his head is higher than the monitor, than the end of the monitor. So to look like he is looking now, I mean, you have to sit probably something like that. It's really like that. Then you have to look up, even like this, which is absurd, of course. I don't really look up so much, like this. To look at the board in the middle, even sitting like this, I have to just more or less be straight. I mean, my glance. But if I sit normally when I play, yeah, it's even going a bit down, yeah. I mean, this is such a manipulation. No, this cannot be. I mean, you have to be very far, maybe, and lean completely only to be able. I mean, then this would be looking at the monitor. No, because why? I know it. Because I will show you now.
Looking at the tabs on top. So to look at the top of my monitor, I have to look up because my eye level is not with the top of the monitor and my camera is between the two monitors. And if you withheld at least a little bit of fake confidence about my setup, then I would have provided those details. And let me anticipate something.
But you did already. Sorry. He says, my head is not on the top
Exactly
of the
the same way
monitor.
that I do against Rasulov. I just did that in my first set of Blitz games, okay? Especially if I'm leaning back a little bit, I'm looking at black's pieces, okay?
Like this, yeah.
Looking at the 8th rank, looking at the tabs on top. So to look at the top of my monitor, I have to look up because my eye level is not with the top of the monitor and my camera is...
Yeah, eye level is not on the top of the monitor. I mean, okay, let's see. First of all, the board is not on the top. You have to see the full board, so it's in the middle of the monitor. First of all, obviously, yeah. And secondly, well, in his Danya response, this is a photo. I mean, he didn't want to show exactly the setup, but this is, he's sitting, you can see this, he's sitting, the monitor is here, and I just found this moment when you can see even the main monitor, which is way higher than the second one, is still below his head. I mean, he's normally sitting here, very normal, and you can see that he is at least on the level of the monitor. And if you are looking at the board, of course the board is in the middle. So you see, you have to look a bit down, but never up, never. It is far, I mean, it is a proof, and also our detecting system easily detects it, easily. So here he was showing, but he never really showed, yeah, again here, but you see that he is sitting, and you can try to find this video. You can also see the monitor, by the way, is more or less the size like mine. He is sitting normally, and it's exactly the same setup. So you see now, this is the camera. Now, here, actually the camera, my camera is external. It's on the top of the monitor. So if I will show you now, if you want, if I want to look at the board in the center of the monitor, this is where I'm looking at. This is more or less this, yeah. This is way higher, like 20-30 centimeters higher than the monitor, for instance. And he is having this glass. This is even on the side, still higher and on the side. And I mean, this here now, let's say I'm looking now, well, it is like 20 centimeter above the monitor. I absolutely cannot see the board. Even fully, even when I look at the camera, no, it's too high because I cannot see the full board. So to see the board, this is how I have to look at. And we have very similar setup and also height. So I mean, Danya, this is not true simply. Okay. First. And now let's continue, and then we finish soon because then it's just too much of nonsense. I am very sorry to tell it. Where was it? No, it was, wait. Here, yeah. Okay, so let's finish.
Between the two monitors. And if you withheld at least a little bit of fake confidence about my setup, then I would have provided those details. And let me anticipate something. The response from Vlad might be, but I was just, see, this clarifies it. Why are you so aggressive? All I was asking is an explanation. That ain't going to fly because no. There are, first of all...
No, Danya, you are mistaken. I was asking true explanation. I mean, fake, false explanation, I'm not going to be satisfied with it. No, because it's not true what you are saying. And I will prove it now. I did already with this main setup, and also I'm going to... and it's also very interesting why you're just not showing it with the camera back clearly now. No, you're just using some kind of, trying, because when you're showing where is the monitor, you don't show the monitor. Very interesting why. Anyways, and now, I mean, that is a problem. It's not that I just disagree with you or I want to blame you or whatever a priori. No, because you are not telling the truth, Daniel.
Like, it is said confidently that I'm not looking at the monitor, which is a lie.
No, it is true.
And the like audacity and mendacity, but
and then immediately starts. No, this is so. I mean, it is a lie. So he makes a claim which is not true, and now immediately blaming. Yeah, okay, it's terrible, awful. This, but he never proves. Actually, he never proves because you have to trust his words. If you want Danya to prove where is your monitor, just put the camera on the back and show the full setup now. You don't do it, yeah? And so we have to trust you that monitor is there or some, very high. No, it's not. It's not. You showed already in your previous video and it was clear that it's not.
The audacity to claim that you know what my setup looks like.
Yes, actually the point is that first of all you can understand it by watching those videos, and secondly you present it in your previous video, so now we know, and you told that you always most of the time you are playing with this setup. And third, our eye detecting system, it is a very efficient one. It detects actually where is the monitor. It can detect, Danya, yeah, to your surprise and maybe to your unsatisfaction, but yeah, it detects.
Blame where I'm looking.
It also detects where
nuts,
you're looking.
and that sets a dangerous precedent. And in general,
what is dangerous? I mean, it is nonsense, Danya. Do you know anything about it? I mean, I can prove it. I easily can prove it is a working algorithm. I was already publishing something about it. It is true, Danya. It's nuts, yeah.
Using eye movements is, without understanding what someone's setup looks like, is dangerous. And comparing it to
well, it actually understands. And you showed, by the way, your setup in previous video. I mean, you see how much of this, again, let's find another word, of unproven statements Danya is using. It's just words. It's words.
Trojan is
and very passive aggressive. Yeah, like anything he tells, he doesn't prove it. He doesn't prove it factually. Here, it was nothing, no problem for him to prove it with a camera. He didn't do it. But at the same time, he's aggressively attacking me and actually pretending that I'm manipulating online. I mean, I also pretend that he does, but I prove it now. I'm going to prove it.
Incredibly disingenuous, because in Petrosian's case, I believe he was looking down.
Well, Petrosian case I didn't touch at all. I don't know why he's talking about Petrosian case.
Okay, and there's a clear line. Like when you look down at your like hands and knees, that is not a natural motion during an online game.
I mean, not natural. Well, it's not more or less unnatural than looking up all the time to start with, so it doesn't mean anything.
I have never seen someone do
According
that.
to your logic.
And that is not the reason that they banned him. They banned him because of his moves.
I don't know.
Okay, so it was not just that.
Boss.
That's you cannot get banned for. There's no rule that makes looking anywhere illegal.
Of course, and you cannot get banned for it, but you can ask questions. Obviously, yeah, that is what I'm doing. I mean, you cannot accuse for a person if he has a very, very strange, unusual eyes behavior. But you can ask question, and there is no problem to explain why, and not to say that it's a lie, it's not true, because it is true. Maybe, Danya, next time your answer will stick to the reality, and then you explain.
Any amount of times. Okay? All right. On we go to a little historical.
No, okay, this history. So now I want to show you. So at some point he was telling that it's absolutely that he is not looking up. I mean, maybe after that, because this historical thing is really for all the people, maybe grandmas who like very emotional or something, but it has nothing to do with the subject. I'm sorry. Okay, I mean, so now let's see. So you saw that it's a lie. Okay, you can watch it till then. It's really like I was frankly embarrassed and my English is poor, not good enough. Okay, let me use the word. I didn't want to use it. Disgusted. Yeah, but it's just like, I mean, it's simply not correct, not good. I cannot communicate in such manner because simply, simply it is like most of the things he's saying are just not true. And okay, let's see now. So he's telling, no, it's not true. He's looking at the site, and at some point he tells that I'm sometimes sitting like this. No, practically never, very rarely, because we checked a lot of streams. And then said, no, I'm always looking at the monitor. I'm not looking up. I'm not looking at the wall. Okay, let's now I will show you that it's not true, simply. And I don't know to what extent, I mean, what has to be in your, I hope he was just simply misled, or he didn't really check it, because I don't know, it's hard for me to believe, and I hope not to believe that he did it on purpose, because it is obvious. There is a documented proof that he's not telling the truth. Yeah, and okay, you have to be really, if you do it on purpose, this is really bad. Yeah, but so hopefully he didn't do it on purpose, but anyway, it just devalues, I'm sorry to be harsh, but it's true, it devalues all his words. I'm going to prove you now. Okay, so let's go. So this is a moment I started and Danya is saying that he sometimes is looking around. You will see, you will see in this answer history, but in fact there are only 2 points where he's looking. So from the middle of the game, check 1 minute 48 seconds. So how many times he's looking at the monitor? You remember the setup, yeah? It's very obvious. I will just show you now that you see it. Where was the setup? I think was it here? Yeah. No, it was here somewhere. He was telling, yeah, somewhere here was the setup. The switches thing is not very interesting. Maybe if you are interested in history, you can, but it's not about history, Danya. Yeah, here you see the setup. Yeah, so it's down monitor. Okay, we will from time to time. So you see how, you looking like this. This is here is already not monitor. Yeah, and even you can even see that actually the camera is actually, yeah, it's below, very much below his head. Yeah, so and you can see here like it's filming, like it's filming from here. Yeah, from down to up, and camera is on the top of the monitor. Monitor is here, more or less here. Okay, we detected, it's very clear. Yeah, so now, because he tells that he's playing from the smaller laptop here, so okay, now let's go, let's check in a slow motions how often, let's count how often he would look clearly up. Yeah, First, this is not the monitor, not even close. 1. Okay. Quite intense and pretty long. I mean, it's a slow motion, but it takes second. No, it cannot be monitor. It's up. I mean, it's first of all, it's on the side. Monitor is very small. It's here. It's absolutely not monitor for sure. Yeah. Now this is monitor. Yeah, this is monitor. Definitely. Okay, this is still maybe monitor. It's a small one at least. Yeah. But now he will start to look really up. I mean, like really, and only like few seconds, because it's a slow motion. 0.25 up. I mean, this is very up. Yeah, this is clearly it's up. Monitor is here, very small. Okay, 3. Very intense. Now 4. 5. You want to tell me here is a monitor here? You saw this is a monitor? No, this is not, and it's always the same point. There are only 2, there and there. I mean, only 5 already. Okay. 6. Okay, this can still be monitor, maybe. Maybe. I mean, we're only counting glances which are obviously much above the monitor. So 6. This, okay, maybe it is still monitor. It doesn't look like, but okay, let's not count this one. Monitor? Obviously, yeah. Not monitor. Obviously not monitor. It is here. It is here. You remember camera is here somewhere. Camera is here, is very low. And camera is on the top of the monitor. How this can be monitor? 7. Okay. 8. Yeah, now you see where he looks. Yeah, this is the center of the board. Okay, so anywhere there, it's not at all. Yeah, this is monitor, yeah. This might be clock or something, yeah. Yeah. No, it is not. But okay. Okay, let's not count this one. There are more obvious ones. So for the moment, let's say 7. I mean, again, check this. Check where is he looking. Yeah. And now let's come back to the to this one where was it here? I mean, this you see very much down. Yeah. Okay. Now let's check again here. So we have 7, yeah, so far, let's say. Okay, every time after he makes a move, this glance up, every time practically. Okay, pre-move is made, and now probably will be, yeah, 8. No, this is not the monitor. It's not so big anyway. First of all, it's higher, and also it's pretty high. It's like his monitor here, so he has to look down, and this is looking like there. I mean, it's completely not the monitor, yeah? 8, 9. Okay, let's call it, let's say 8, doesn't matter, yeah? Because it was a too short glance. But you see, he's not looking anywhere else than that. You see, check now, when he's thinking on move, he's playing knight g6, how low is the monitor, how like down he is looking at, yeah? Okay. Yeah, up, up, okay, okay, now at least he leans, let's say it's the monitor still. Let's say so, but this is not for sure. This, 1 second, I mean, once, this is not for sure. Okay, let's not count this. Let's say 8, doesn't matter. 9, no, this is obviously not the monitor. It's very up, yeah? It's going on the side, completely, you know, you saw the monitor is small. It's on the side and it's much more up. 9. It's still less than a minute, yeah? Okay. This also looks very much on the side. 10. No, this is really on the side, it's there. And my monitor is very big. It's like almost twice as big. It's a desktop. and you know, even though looking there, it's already outside of the monitor. So 10. This can be a clock. This can be still within the, yeah. Let's wait a little. It will come soon because it's permanent. 11. That was not okay. This is obviously was not the monitor. Okay, let's say 10. Just a bit of patience. Half minute more and we will stop because it's too obvious. Yeah. So Danya is telling, I'm always looking there. No, you're looking at 2 points. One is monitor, a second point is not monitor. It's always practically solely after the move you make. So because just, you know, you have time, you don't lose time, and you can, you know, maybe see something, the development of the game. Maybe not, I don't know. But please don't tell me that it's what I'm telling is wrong. No, it is obviously right for everyone. Okay, so 10 was it? Yeah. Okay, it was quick. Let's not count it. Yeah, I mean, come on, this is not the monitor. Sorry, 11, and it's always more or less the same point. I mean, you see, camera is there. I mean, how can this be monitor? No, it's not. I mean, if it would be a big one, I agree. Yeah, that could be, but it's a very small one. 12. 13. 14. Long and very intense. And what, it's basically less than a minute still, yeah, I think passed since we started, or maybe a minute, yeah. And so on and so on. Okay, there will few more. Okay, it's like 14 glances like this in 1 minute. I mean, the same point in less than a minute. And just check, it is completely obvious. I will show you now again again the setup. I mean, come on, it's a very small monitor, very small one. I mean, you are sitting like this, and then you pretend that this is a monitor, not even close. So, okay, I mean, it is, I don't know what to say here, because Danya shows, he's telling that his monitor, when he sits there, that it's up him, which is not true, simply not true, because he's tall and you can see it in the video. Then he's pretending he's looking everywhere around, at least when playing me. No, he's not looking at you, he's looking on 2 points. And okay, you saw the proof, you saw all this, I mean, untrue statements and a lot of manipulations there, so I don't want to continue that. I mean, to me it is very obvious classical manipulation, gaslighting, a lot of gaslighting together with, I mean, Hikaru and other people who are trying to be very, you know, very convincing, and they try to actually convince you in something which is obviously not true, like in this experiment I've shown you at the beginning. And then they put a group of bots, brainwashed fans. I mean, there are many nice people, fans of them, but there are a lot of very, you know, who are writing nonsense, and they just want to convince people that this, let's say, delusion, you know, which they're on purpose or not trying to state, yeah, which completely wrong, delusional kind of statements that, okay, he's looking at the monitor, he's looking on the site, and I'm not even talking about Hikaru, who couldn't be bullying more and more, insulting in his public behavior, also towards me, but also many other players, and then he's actually telling that I'm the one. I mean, I don't know how many people he already, I mean, suspected of cheating. Now he's telling that I'm the one. Okay, it's just all absurd. It's a fake reality which they create using PR method, using the PR machine, some bots, some kind of, as you know, this famous, well-known Lenin sentence, useful idiots. Yeah, so people who are some of people who actually believe them, and they just, they express their opinion, they're angry, somebody is attacking them, and they use them to actually to manipulate and to spread their agenda. That is what's happening. I mean, to me, there is no doubt about it. So I don't even see. By the way, I offered more than once to have a direct conversation with Danya. First time he didn't answer, even though he pretends that I am avoiding conversation. Actually, I'm not. Many times, I mean, to Hikaru, Gotham, whoever, I'm always ready on public. They always don't do it. With Danya, I did it already twice. He refused both times, last recently. And one time he didn't even answer. Second time he refused just very recently. So, okay, but I don't see how to speak. I mean, how to continue dispute. So, Danya, first, please, I mean, there is no way we can have any constructive conversation if you're using these tactics, first of all, that a priori you are right, I'm wrong, a priori anything I say is manipulation, as you, by the way, mentioned in one of your videos, and what you say is correct and is for sure. This is first, and secondly, we cannot speak if you are always, I mean, very often what you say when you, in the major points, is actually completely refuted by reality, by documents. So it's impossible, to speak. That's why I don't want anymore to record anything before or to answer your arguments before they will be, true, before they will fit the reality. Okay, that's all what I wanted to say. Thank you.